Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, AEW lies exposed, but they're not really AEW's lies. I'll explain it.
Raw star apologised for a major botch on the show this week.
A former AEW star has had a tryout with WWE.
And some free agents have been spotted in the NXT crowd. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I can't believe Penaldo's in the mud again, man.
Don't start. Pino Pesci's going to be furious. This is the news.
It's amazing. You take the dilapidated old creep out of your starting lineup and you win 6-1. Anyway, on today's wrestling news, let's talk about AEW lies exposed.
Oh, what they've been lying about?
Well, EC3's been lying.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So remember earlier this week, we covered that report where EC3 was like, hey, William Regal regretted going to AEW straight away because the management is immature.
I've made a huge mistake.
And there was also some other stuff in his interview with Sportskeeda where he was like, oh yeah, on top of this, like William Regal was pissed off because talent didn't want coaching. He offered coaching and they didn't take him up or whatever.
Wait a second. Are you about to tell me, Andy Murray, that the first person William Regal rang when he got the AEW job wasn't Ethan Carter III?
Well, he wanted to control his narrative, man, but it doesn't seem to have worked out. So, I mean, we did say when we did that video, right? Take this with a pinch of, well, not really a pinch of salt, more like a handful.
Yeah.
Like throw it in your face because this is wild. But yeah, SE Scoops, BG Bethel has come through with a bunch of sources commenting on this. Yeah, it's total bollocks. So here's a couple of quotes. I'll just read these. There were no formal coaching sessions where it was something that was scheduled or anything like that. Usually Regal would go down to the ring to help somebody and word would spread like, hey, Regal's in the ring. So this was never a formal organised thing. That same coach said that said that things were totally inaccurate. Another one said it was complete bullshit. So I can't believe this is a story. It's complete bullshit. There was never a schedule. You had to be down at the ring. People blew it off and people blew it off. That never happened. And Regal was never going to flat tell someone they had to come to the ring to coach them. Regal would work with someone, people would go down and show up, and a lot of people took advantage of it. Other vets do it all the time. It's something that the younger men and women are getting involved with. Sometimes someone would work with someone one-on-one, and other times there'd be quite a few people down. Same source said that Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes apparently do stuff like that a lot, as you'd expect.
What a treat.
And another source kind of went into detail about how I spat on my phone there. That's lovely. Brand new phone, spat all over it.
Clean the screen.
There you go. Say it, don't spray it. Another person was like, yeah, Regal also used to like sit in the stands and like give a TV perspective and say, hey, work the camera and all that stuff. So yeah, total nonsense.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. Like you say, we said it at the time. I thought, I'm not sure how accurate this is because he clearly, for me, appeared to be having a great time in AEW. Maybe he did have issues with people backstage, but I don't think the person who's going to tell me that information is EC3, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably get, the list of people I'd go to, I'd probably ask Braun Strowman for it. I think he'd really know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Fish. Actually, he was in AEW. He might know some stuff, actually.
Folks, where's the lie?
That's a bad example.
But yeah, and in terms of the training session, yeah, he said that when I was lucky enough to chat to him. He said, I said, who would you like to work with, etc., etc. And he goes, look, I get to the show a few hours early, I go down to the ring, and people who are there, obviously Bryan Danielson and the like, etc., let's get involved, let's do this.
Yeah.
Was it Brian Pillman Jr.? Someone I saw just the other day tweeting, yeah, it's a load of bollocks. I loved, sitting at the looming tree that is William Regal. And yeah, I'm not surprised, the amount of young talent they've got there. Of course you go, excuse me, Mr. Regal, sir, could you pass on some of your amazing wrestling knowledge? And yeah, I always thought that when he left AEW, it wasn't, you AEW, it was, I want to go back and work with Trips because we're best mates.
I love the rumor cycle of pro wrestling continues to be my favorite thing ever. You can just make stuff
Keep
up.
it coming, baby.
Yeah. If you're a talking head, you can just go,
this thing is going to be putting my kids through college, so let's go, baby.
It's like people who put stock into the opinions of the people who are responsible for the downfall of WCW inexplicably. Every single week, people put stock into those opinions. You know who knows how to run a successful pro wrestling business? The guy who ran one off the face of the planet. That's who I'm listening to. And there's several of those guys. There's not just one dude.
I was going to say, porn popped into my head, and I thought, wait a second,
which one?
More than one person here.
Adam Wilborn.
All right.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about...
We are shooting these days.
This is
spicy.
You can tell we're on the road to Christmas, and we're just like, well, in a few weeks, I'm just going to be sitting on a beach sipping Mai Tais. Oh. Mainly sitting in my house, not putting the heat on.
Yeah, if I went to Aberdeen Beach, oh boy, a Mai Tai, it'd be like nuclear exposure. Those waters.
I don't know. Right. Do you remember the Botch on Raw this week in the match between Mustafa Ali and Austin Theory? Ali was going for a Frankensteiner, and it's been shared all over the place. I'm like, oof, this didn't go well. Well, shout out to Austin Theory, who's just come out, put his hands up and gone, yep, you know what, that's my fault. Because I did see some people saying, oh, it's Ali's fault, he's doing this, he's botched this, blah, 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 blah. No, Austin Theory... according to Vital Selector, said, yeah, that's on me. Basically, the plan, Andy, was that it was going to be an attempted Frankensteiner. Theory was going to hold on to Ali, though, and they were going to have a bit of and then he was going to actually hit him with
Power
a Frankensteiner.
Hit the Frankensteiner.
And then counter that, basically. But, yeah, didn't happen. But Austin Theory's put his hands up and said, my bad.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for stuff like this.
Yeah, I love this. Like, Ali apparently was the one who was like, hey, referee, let's check him out, make sure he's okay. Like, it was a bit of a rough fall. And then they did the DDT that was called on the fly to kind of, get through the awkward situation. So fair play to Mustafa Ali for improvising, and fair play to Austin Theory for going, sorry, man, this sucks. Yeah, botch discourse is the worst thing in the world. Matthew
it didn't ruin the match.
No, exactly. Like, Matthew remains the only person in history who's ever made botch content in good faith and not to be a prick.
Yeah.
Botchmania is immortal. Everyone else is a dickhead. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, good. Like, it didn't mess anything up. It just looked a bit ugly for about 5 seconds, and then it was fixed, and then they said sorry.
It's very rare that I go in on major botch, minor botches like this. It didn't affect the finish of the match. It didn't affect the match that much. It didn't affect my opinion of the two performers. And look, they're doing incredible, athletic stuff along with having to talk as well. I can barely get through a sentence on the news. If someone put together every time I went on the news, then it's bollocks.
Every second word that comes out of my mouth is a botch these days, and that's because I can't say THs properly. But yeah, I saw a bunch of nonsense. Like, obviously, a lot of people get fired up when AEW stuff. It's in such bad faith. But yesterday, people were like, "Oh, you think AEW has a botch? WWE has a..." What are we doing here? There are a lot better ways to spend your energy than dedicating. If your personality is arguing about this stuff online, man, touch grass.
Yeah.
Touch some grass, kick some ass. There you go.
That's a t-shirt.
There you go. Hey, that's my new catchphrase, because I'm well known for kicking ass.
Yeah.
Right. Our next report here. Who go do the thing. There you go. We are the New Day. They were on NXT. They're coming out. They're going to beat up Pretty Deadly.
It was quite good fun. That
it's pretty good.
We'll talk about that on the NXT review podcast, wherever you get your podcast from later on today.
Drew Gulak was there too. What a time to be alive. I like Drew Gulak.
And William Regal's baby boy, Charlie Dempsey at your service.
William Doolittle at your service, a.k.a. Will do. Kylie Ray. She's at the tryouts.
Yes.
WWE doing tryouts all week. PW Insider's Mike Johnson reporting yesterday that, as well as the two dudes you're about to talk about, and as well as Casey Navarro, a rising star on the indie circuit and former MLW talent, Kylie Ray is getting a tryout this week too. She, of course, was going to be one of the figureheads of the AEW Women's Division. There you go, doing the ring entrance. She was put over really huge early on, like Cody Rhodes compared her to Bayley and stuff, which was alright. That's his watch talking. But obviously, she was like her and AEW, in Tony Khan's words, parted ways amicably a few months later. It didn't work out for her there. She has since wrestled for Impact and NWA. She's obviously had some personal struggles over the past few years and stuff. But Kylie Ray she's always been really, really great as a wrestler, first of all, which is going to be the determining factor in how her tryouts go and stuff. But she's always struck me as just a really nice person as well. And I hope she gets a nice job.
Yeah, fingers crossed for on this one. Like you say, I mean, nothing against WWE's Next in Line program and getting former football players or gymnasts or whatever, but bring people like Kylie Ray in, because I already know she can give.
Yeah,
the women's division is getting stronger and stronger. The Raw women's division is outrageous at the moment, but Kylie Ray could do big things. Like you say, it was a shame to see her disappear off my television in AEW, because I enjoyed what I'd briefly seen of her.
She's really great, and she's been back on the indies a bit more regularly recently. yeah, I really enjoy Kylie's work, and like I like the idea of building these like football players from scratch. But sometimes you need some good wrestlers as well. So.
And not to dwell on it, but like you say, nice to see that she's resolved all the personal stuff.
Yeah,
it's just always good to hear that sort of thing.
Smiley Kylie, that's the gimmick. Let's go.
Good stuff.
Let's go.
But you mentioned that Mike Johnson report. Lots of people come in for the tryouts, etc. And a couple of them were actually spotted in the crowd on NXT last night. Former Ring of Honor stars Dutch and Vincent, obviously known for being in The Righteous in Ring of Honor alongside Bateman and Vita Von Star. They've been heavily linked with joining WWE, particularly in alongside the Bray Wyatt storyline as well. They were seen sitting in the bleachers. Andy, shout out to @WrestlingCovers on Twitter who pointed this out. And they are some big names, Dutch and Vincent, and I think they could do big things for the WWE.
Steve McLaren going to be their mouthpiece. I like these blokes. I like The Righteous and Ring of Honor.
They wrestle in the clogs, of course.
Yeah.
And,
gee whiz. He's not actually from the Netherlands.
What?
Dutch. Yeah. It's a ring name.
What are we doing here? But yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah, I like their aesthetic. I like their vibe. They were doing some cool, unique things in Ring of Honor alongside Bateman and Vita as well. Quite surprised not to see the group completed, but still two really talented dudes.
Maybe the other two were getting popcorn.
Maybe they were getting some popcorn. Vincent was in Impact earlier this year. They dropped the Trios titles, the Ring of Honor Trios titles at Death Before Dishonor, I believe, to Dalton Castle and the boys. That's right. And I think they have the aesthetic, obviously, to fit in well with Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Me, personally, I need this Bray Wyatt stuff to start going somewhere soon. It seems like it's circling around LA Knight, and I didn't do it, but I did do it.
Yeah.
Give me some developments, boys. I need something. But yeah, stable would be cool.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting to see Bray Wyatt in a ring until the Royal Rumble. But I'd be happy if these two joined.
What do you reckon of the entrance music? Die for me, brother. Code Orange getting paid. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you know what? This also gave me a nice flashback to that time. The Highlanders were at TNA. Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, let's show them on camera. That was just a series of bad decisions across the board.
Shall we go and watch our only competition really's show?
Yeah. And then the director...
What's the worst that could happen?
And then the TNA equivalent of Kevin Dunn's like, hey, it would be really great if we got these guys fired by showing them on camera.
Oh my God, some good actual wrestlers are in the crowd.
Jings Crivens help my bub. I wonder what the Islanders are up to these days. Obviously, I know them personally.
Yeah.
Being from the 20 population.
I think it's caber tossing, isn't it?
Of Scotland. Yeah, have you ever tossed a caber before?
I've never tossed a caber.
Very difficult. It's a big log. You got to get right under it.
Put it on the old Andy Murray stag do list, and I'm right there, though.
Yes. So far, we're going to... Where we're going? We're going to Pittodrie, see the famous MVs and beautiful Aberdeen Football Club. We're going to toss some cabers. We're going to go for a dip in the North Sea. Going to go to such great Aberdeen bars as the Grill, which until like about 20 years ago didn't actually have a women's toilet.
Wow.
It is an interesting bloody place.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Pete Peeps, rest in peace, Chris.
Pete.
If you know, you know. Listen, like two people who are watching this video will understand what I mean when I say Pete Peeps.
Would I fit in because of the ginger stuff in?
You would get thrown out of Pete Peeps. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
Challenge accepted.
Go YouTube Britain's Toughest Pubs Aberdeen.
Oh.
What's that at lunchtime?
I'll watch that today.
Yeah. Video's good. This has gone off the rails again.
Twitter questions. Actually, not Twitter questions, I should say. I've written down Twitter questions, but they're not from Twitter, are they?
They're from YouTube.
They're from our YouTube community page.
Community.
If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. You see those when they come up, when we post them, and ask for your Twitter questions or your YouTube community questions. First one comes from the Game Slave 2, the second of his name, who says, I really like Solo's Cause Heavy Umanja vibe on Raw during that beatdown of Riddle. Did you guys notice that? And I think that is a nice way for Solo to remember his uncle. Yeah, the Samoan Spike.
Yeah, it was recently the anniversary of his passing. Was it actually on Monday? It might have been.
Wow.
It might have been exactly on Monday. So yeah, I think that was definitely a tribute. Yeah, like Solo rules, man. Like they've really nailed him. They've
the
really
greatest
nailed.
NXT call-up.
Yeah, well, I think that's a conversation worth having because you'll immediately go, "Oh, what about Kevin Owens and stuff?" But then you remember that John Cena won the feud and stuff like that. But like, obviously, Kevin Owens rules. But you know, Solo they've done it perfectly. I like him as the strong, silent badass in the stable. It's a different vibe.
The best he does is that.
Yeah. Like, I was a bit dubious when he came in, because when he came into NXT and they were doing those corny vignettes, and it's like, oh, okay. This
Street guy or whatever he was.
Yeah, it's very on the nose, but then he kicked ass there and now he kicks ass on the main roster. He kicks ass. He's really good.
He could be the guy to dethrone Gunther, in my opinion. He's that good.
He's a beef as well. He's a big boy. Big beefy boy. I haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
It's like 2018 vintage. Back when I was really crap.
Callum RFC or Sixelum. I think it's one of those cool kids ones where they miss out.
What RFC do you reckon that is? Is it the bad one?
I was going to say Rotherham, but then it's not Rotherham United, isn't it?
Randers, the Danish club.
Yeah,
I didn't
realise it could be that. Bloody RFC.
Yeah, it's not they who cannot be named, is it, Callum?
I'm about to say something controversial.
They pump us every time, it's fine.
If you could relive one wrestling pay-per-view from your childhood, which one would it be and why?
Oh man, it's such a cliched answer, but it's the truth. It's WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
Like, I was like 14 or something at the time. And the electricity around that was incomparable. It was that age when you're just completely just enwrapped in everything. You're kind of like halfway between knowing what's going on in wrestling and just being like a kid and like totally living in it and stuff. The excitement of that was second to none. The Limp Bizkit vignette, Austin Rock, and like it's
so good.
It's still for me the best WWE show of all time. It's it's flawless, man. It's just perfect.
I'd say the Royal Rumble with the Foley
2015. I agree.
Sorry. Triple H street fight.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things I can't actually. You know when people say like, "What's your youngest memory?" And I'm like, I don't know if that's a memory or just something that I've been told. And I don't know whether that was the first wrestling pay-per-view that I actually watched, but it certainly feels like a formative thing that got me into wrestling. And yeah, it's bloody great, isn't it?
It's great. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I had that on VHS. Bought it from Woolworths.
Yeah.
What is your earliest childhood memory? Because mine's weird.
Pooing in the bath.
Pooing in the bath. All right, Andre. Okay, I can't really beat that, so yeah, there you go.
It's quite a share. I overshared there a little bit, didn't I?
Little floater.
It was last week. Arceus98 NZ54 says, since it is Royal Rumble season, who's your dream surprise return / debut in this year's iteration?
You know what, I'm a grumpy prick. I don't really have one because everyone's returned.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
they have had a lot recently.
I mean, if we could like get a hologram of someone who's no longer with us, I guess.
Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac. ABBA, they're doing hologram tools, but I don't know what's going on, man. Hiroki Sumi, maybe the god.
I've got enough to keep you covered, though. Not really a debut, but Cody Rhodes, obviously. I want Cody Rhodes to win the whole thing. I love The Rock. He's literally my favourite wrestler of all time, but Cody Rhodes needs to win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if you want to have Cody Rhodes, if you want to have The Rock face Roman at WrestleMania, which I would do non-title stuff, it's very complicated. I'm glad it's not my decision, basically. Yeah. You don't need to have him win the Royal Rumble because, don't have part-timers or one-offs win it for a while, maybe. Just a thought. Cody would get a huge pop and would be a very... Like Roman, The Rock would be a bit of a divisive winner, surprisingly. Yeah. No one's going to complain if Cody wins. But in terms of surprise returns and debuts, I'm gonna roll it back, Andy, and I'm gonna potentially offer out another pasty bet / Good Brews bet. Our friends who make delicious coffee around the corner.
If you're in Gateshead, go Good Brews.
You know. I did it last year. Didn't go that well, but I'm gonna bring it back. Either I'm gonna ask for two. You can say no.
I got the hand ready, man.
Pat McAfee, come back, immediately pop in the Rumble because he's mint.
Yeah.
My boy, I know there was some things with some stuff that he said, but I don't think it was that divisive, if I'm perfectly honest. Scotty Too High. I just want to see Scotty Too High in a bloody wrestling ring again.
Let's do both, baby.
Do you think either of those might happen?
Yeah, I could see them both happening. Like, I don't think either of them is out with the realm of possibility. Mine's CM Punk, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to see the reaction. I would like to live in that moment. Like, it just pull it over me like a warm blanket, like everyone fired up online in the arena going nuts, and CM Punk, like, still injured, but he's like, well, screw this. I'm doing this out of spite, brother. It would be a fun time for about half an hour, and then it would be the worst time of all time. Because people would just go nuts.
Oh, cool. The internet's exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another shoot one. I think this might actually happen. Wade Barrett.
Oh!
Wade Barrett.
There you go.
Trey, there's a lot of videos of him clanging and banging at the moment. I'm like...
You
I see you, boy.
You got a good Wade Barrett impression.
He said he's on commentary. Well, a lot of people are hoping for some surprise returns in this Royal Rumble. Well, Michael Cole, if you're hoping for that, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Boom, gets up, rips his gear off. He's got, oh my God.
Bad News Barrett. I'm not an authority figure guy, but Bad News Barrett as the general manager. Oh my God.
Yeah, that might be the one. That might be the one that gets around it. Right, let's move on to today's and finally. Colt Cabana is today's and finally.
What's it? Has he done something naughty?
Yes, he's been doing a little wrestling show, not AEW, and you may have seen the video recently where he was. Did you see the one where the kid chopped him?
No, I didn't.
The kid had a vicious chop on him. Anyway, this video was shared. Shout out to David Johnston, who sent it to us.
Big Dave.
It's on TikTok. He's in the middle of a match. I'm going to turn the volume down just in case I don't know what the legal ramifications are of me playing you TikTok videos. But he's in the middle of a match here, as you can see. Hang on. And he's looking for a weapon. He's desperate for a weapon there in the middle of a match. What's he going to grab, Andy? What's he going to grab? Look, he's berating the crowd. Give me a weapon. Give me a weapon. I found one, thank goodness. That's right, he tries to use a baby as a weapon in a wrestling match. Colt Cabana never changed. He didn't use it, of course. Calm down, everyone. But I thought that was a bit of a popper from Colt.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
I need a weapon. Oh, a small child. There we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, what use is a child anyway, man?
Right, let's know.
I'm not advocating for using kids as weapons.
No, it's
just
come on.
Yeah, that's funny, but
Hey.
it's really good. I thought it was going to be like a pack of the muffins from that.
Oh, God.
That CM Punk went to. Or a dog, Larry.
Right,
Colt Cabana's kidnapped Larry. Ace Steel's fuming.
Let us know your thoughts on that and everything we've discussed in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. Of course, you subscribe to get to send us questions and the community page, all that sort of thing. Subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, we're going to be reviewing NXT. The show formerly known, I should say, is NXT 2Play. A little bit later on today. And previewing AEW Dynamite, of course.
Maybe we'll do a roundtable as well.
Oh, maybe.
Hey.
Just maybe. Thoughts, Twitter questions, all that good stuff at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, follow both of us. Follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for ho ho ho.
Follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn.
Ho 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 la Sokoa. He's Christmas. Yep. Bye.
It's really true. Adam Wilborn at WhatCulture WWE for all of us. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. Thanks to P&L Pesci, to Pinaldo. Everyone's finished.
Tennis per camp.
We'll see you soon.
Pevin De Bruyne. Bye.